In the grim darkness of the near past, there was only conflict and division. Here shall be a look into the tumultuous saga of the 2020 presidential election. Amidst the chaos and warfare, we shall explore the fierce rivalries, the strategic maneuvers, and the ideological battles that defined one of the most pivotal moments in modern American history. The United States of America, a small part of the now sprawling imperium of man, was governed by an intricate and often impenetrable bureaucracy. The president, the central figure of immense authority, sat atop a towering hierarchy of power, commanding the might of the nation with a mandate that is both revered and contested. Within this democracy, various factions emerged, each with their own ideologies and agendas. The Democrats and Republicans, much like the rival houses in an ancient empire, are the primary forces in this eternal struggle. Each side believes in the righteousness of their cause, their vision for the future of the nation as steadfast as their convictions. The Democrats, self-proclaimed crusaders of progress and change, with the fervor of zealots on a holy mission, they brandish their banners of social justice, environmental stewardship, and economic equality, believing themselves the vanguard of a brighter, fairer future. Their ranks are a glorious cacophony of voices, the idealistic progressives whose vision for the future of the Imperium is one of revolution, tearing down the old order and erecting something new. And the cautious moderates who tiptoe through the minefield of politics, ever fearful of disturbing the fragile equilibrium. While their hearts beat with noble intentions, their dissonance often descends into chaos, and the Grand Crusade can seem more like a disorderly mob fumbling for coherence in the dark. Conversely, the Republicans, the indomitable guardians of tradition and order, clutching the nation's core values with a grip that would make a tyrant blush. They stand resolute champions of limited government, free markets, and an imposing national defense. Their coalition is a spectacle of steadfastness, from the unyielding conservatives whose devotion to tradition verges on the fanatical, to the libertarians, those fervent defenders of individual freedom who often find themselves in spirited debates with their more authoritarian brethren. While their resolve is commendable, one can't help but notice the irony as their pursuit of order sometimes devolves into self-destructive squabbles that resemble a medieval court more than a modern political party. Yet no analysis of this political landscape would be complete without acknowledging the forces that seek to destabilize and disrupt. Fringe movements, conspiracy theories, and extremist factions operate like agents of chaos, spreading discord and undermining the foundations of the Republic. From far-right militias to radical left anarchists, these entities challenge the status quo, their actions echoing the ceaseless strife of discord. Social media, a double-edged sword, amplifies their influence, much like the unchecked spread of misinformation. And now, a quick word from our sponsor. For all you tabletop gaming enthusiasts and political aficionados, we have an exciting new release that you won't want to miss. Introducing the brand new Warhammer 2K miniatures, featuring none other than Donald Trump and Joe Biden. Lead the charge with Donald Trump, depicted in a suit of power armor, symbolizing his indomitable will and fierce leadership. Or rally your forces with Joe Biden. This miniature embodies his ancient wisdom of the Imperium of Man, with which he forges a path forward, no matter the obstacles. Don't miss out on this exclusive release. Visit our website now and use the promo code POLITICS2020 for a special discount on your purchase. Buy both political leader miniatures and get the Twitchy streamer model for free. At the heart of this epic struggle stood two titans of American politics, Donald J. Trump, the incumbent president, and Joseph R. Biden, the seasoned challenger. Much like rival warlords in an ancient empire, their visions for the future of the nation could not have been more different. Donald Trump, the maverick leader, embodied a brand of populism and nationalism. He rallied his base with promises of continued economic growth, strong borders, and an unyielding stance against international adversaries. Trump's campaign was characterized by a series of large rallies, robust social media presence, and an unapologetic defense of his record. Joseph Biden, a stalwart of the Democratic Party, emerged as a unifying figure. Biden's message was one of healing and comprehensive reform, focusing on healthcare, climate change, and social justice. His campaign was marked by a more subdued yet resilient approach, emphasizing safety during the pandemic and a call for a national unity. The 2020 election was fought on multiple fronts, with the COVID-19 pandemic casting a long shadow over the proceedings. The battleground states, much like contested territories in a grand war, became the focal points of intense campaigning and strategic maneuvers. Mail-in voting, necessitated by the pandemic, became a contentious issue, with debates over its security and legitimacy dominating the discourse. Both campaigns mobilized unprecedented resources to ensure their messages reached every corner of the electorate. Trump's team focused on traditional ground campaigns, door-to-door canvassing, and in-person rallies. Meanwhile, Biden's camp leveraged digital platforms, virtual events, and extensive mail-in voting drives to engage voters. As the election grew nearer, the role of social media became a focal point of controversy. Social media platforms, much like the chaotic warp of information, became battlegrounds for influence. Tech giants like Facebook and Twitter committed blatant censorship, silencing dissenting voices and content deemed harmful to Biden's campaign. This created a polarized environment where the flow of information was heavily scrutinized, with accusations of bias and manipulation flying in every direction. The censorship further fueled the divisions within the electorate, with one side praising the measures as necessary to combat misinformation, while the other decried them as an assault on free speech and fair play. From claims of voter fraud to doubts about the integrity of the election, these disruptive elements sought to undermine public trust. Despite numerous allegations and an avalanche of lawsuits, it was Trump's own appointed judges who threw out every single case of voter fraud. These judges, tasked with upholding the law, found the evidence lacking, thereby reinforcing the integrity of the election process. On November 7th, 2020, after days of intense ballot counting and uncertainty, the results were in. Joseph R. Biden was declared the 46th President of the United States, having secured key battleground states such as Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Amidst this tumultuous arena, the American citizenry stood as the arbiters of the nation's fate. Their votes, cast in record numbers, were the decisive force in determining the outcome. The resilience and participation of everyday Americans facing the dual threats of a pandemic and political unrest were nothing short of heroic. Or so we're told. Other historians point out lasting effects of division and distrust the people had for one another following the results of the contest. Technologies, both foreign and domestic, dug their tendrils deeper into the minds of the citizenry. Chaotic energies of discord tainted even the most enlightened of minds. Actual progress and the solidification of policy, economic stability, and betterment of the lives of the US populace now lies in a wasteland of philosophical grift and bad faith. Though such opinions cannot be trusted, as questioning the status quo is of course heresy. So, as we reflect on the 2020 presidential election, we are reminded that the struggle for power, the clash of ideologies, and a quest for a better future are timeless. The election was more than a contest between two candidates. It was a battle for the soul of a nation, a defining moment in the annals of American history. But the story does not end there. As we look ahead to the 2024 election, the echoes of the previous contest continue to resonate. The same forces that clashed then are gathering once again, preparing for another confrontation. The leaders are older, their legacies heavier, and the stakes, if possible, even higher. The battle lines are drawn, and the nation braces itself for the next great political saga. What will be the outcome? Only time will tell, as the remnants of past conflicts prepare to contest the future once more. The fate of the United States hangs in the balance, and the world watches with anticipation. Don't forget to stay vigilant for the history to come, as the battles for a soul of a nation still rages on in the upcoming Great Meme War.